What's crack-a-lack? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So we're going over the Ravens. What would I do, me, personally, if I was in charge of the Ravens? If I was the front office? We're going to go over free agency and do a mock draft, and we're going to take a look at the 2020 starting lineup for them. But go ahead, become a bro, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. It's always much appreciated, much obliged. Helps the video get discovered. Thumbs up really means a lot. So do that for me. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love discussing this stuff with you guys. I try to get back to as many of y'all as I can, as well as a mock draft should already be out. Go check that out. And always, I got 2020 NFL draft ranking videos. Goes over a little more in depth of a lot of the prospects. So be sure to check out that, as well as I'm just gonna start pitching this out now because I was kind of debating about going to the draft or not because my dad lives in Vegas, so I had a place to stay. But I'm gonna man up here. I'm gonna stay here home in somewhere in Arizona. I'm gonna stay home because I think I'm just gonna do a watch along with you guys here on YouTube. So be around for that. I'll be here all 3 days, and we're just gonna watch the NFL draft and share our opinions. That ought to be real fun, and it allows me, because let's be honest, the draft content is kind of vital to my channel. So I'm hoping that kind of helps this channel really start to take off. So I want to be there and be sure I can pump out as much content around that time as I can for you guys. So let's go ahead. Let's dive in. We're talking the Ravens. Salary cap, only 28 million. So I don't see them. They're a pretty good team. I don't see them making too many big free agent plays, or too many big plays in free agency. But to clear up some of that space, I released two guys in the secondary, oddly enough, Tony Jefferson and Brandon Carr, because they're pretty deep at corner and they got good depth at safety. Chuck Clark came in after Tony Jefferson went down and played very well. So we're gonna get rid of those guys. Gets us to 41 million, because there were a couple of guys I really wanted to re-sign that played particularly well this year. Let's start with Josh Bynes. We're gonna get him on a cheap 1 year, $1 million deal. He played actually very solid there at linebacker, and let me tell you how little linebacker matters in the Ravens offense, or at least how it did last year, because they often played nickel packages where they brought in basically your jumbo line or jumbo safeties, and they schemed a lot of blitz. So linebacker, not that important, but you still want at least one or two solid guys back there. LJ Fort is back there as well. So I'm kind of okay with linebacker. I don't really plan to address it early in the draft. But I might. There's one guy that I think would be pretty solid there, and then Jihad Ward. He was pretty solid for the defense, so I brought him back on a 2-year, $5 million contract. And then Matt Skura, who was very phenomenal at center for the Ravens. So I don't want to break up too much of that offensive line because they played very, very, very well. But I only made one big signing in free agency, and I got Emmanuel Sanders, 2 years, 21 million. That only leaves us with 17 million, but hey, this is a guy we could also ditch next year while we kind of develop guys like Miles Boykins, maybe someone we draft this year, just because we want what was the biggest problem in that division championship game? It was the drops. One of the most sure-handed receivers in the league. You get him on a little over 10 million, 10.5 million a year, at least for this year. And I think that ensures that you guys can make a run at that conference championship again this year. So let's go ahead. Let's dive in to the draft. We're sitting here, and me personally, I really I look at like Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins still on the board, and I'm like salivating at the mouth. But that's not like the identity of the Ravens offense. So Like, I'm thinking, okay, maybe we look at guard, but maybe Damian Lewis, but Jonah Jackson. We could get those guys maybe second round if we really want them. Edge. I mean, Josh Uchi's very intriguing, a guy that could drop back into coverage if they need him to. Edge has been a huge problem. That's why the Ravens, they have to often scheme up pressure because they don't got guys that can naturally do it. But I mean, Curtis Weaver's still there. So, I don't know. Then, you know, maybe we could look at corner. We could look at safety if we really want to. But Kenneth Murray is there. And you know what? We only signed Bynes to the 1-year deal. So this gives us another sideline to sideline linebacker, just athlete. I don't think he's a big playmaker, but I mean, was CJ Mosley a big playmaker? Not really. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to go with Kenneth Murray. And there's a lot of good wide receiver prospects, so we can get some later on in the draft. Let's close you. So going into the second round, I kind of want, like, I am going to keep an eye at that guard position because I think we could upgrade it. But there is one prospect, if he falls to us, I'm taking him. Like, there's like no way, no how I'm not going to take. Oh, no, he's off the board. I was looking at Curtis Weaver, man. I think he's so ideal. He'd be perfect for their scheme. So let's go back. Let's look at edge. Because, I mean, they got Tyus Bowser, who did pretty well last year. I mean, Khalid Kareem wouldn't be a bad decision either. Let's take a look. Bryce Hall's there. Let's take a look at guard. Because, I mean, Jonah Jackson, I think Damian Lewis fits the scheme a lot better. And I think he would be a solid pickup. They have him going. Maybe we could get him to the third. Because they have him pretty lowly ranked here. I'm just looking at running back for the heck of it. Oh, Neville Gallimore's also an interesting prospect. So is Ross Blacklock. I like the versatility of Khalid Kareem, who could play on the line. He could play also outside. And I think he'd be a much better. He'd be an upgrade from Jalen Ferguson based on what we saw. He looks like he's very limited athletically. So I'm going to go Khalid Kareem. It's not the sexiest pick, but it is what it is. Denzel Mims would be an interesting pick here too. So here we are, third round, man. What to do, what to do, what to do, what to do. I do want to maybe get a little more depth there at safety, but we could wait on that really if we wanted to. I really just want to get like best player available. I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna take Damian Lewis. I think he just fits the power blocking scheme the Ravens run. So, like I said, I still want to bring in just bring in depth pieces in the secondary, because that secondary was so vital to like what they were able to do as far as from like scheme up pressure. And we did get rid of like Tony Jefferson. We did get rid of like Brandon Carr. There's no, yep. I was looking at Kyle Duggar. I was like, there's no way he's going to make it to us. Tay Moody, you ain't going that low. Let's be honest, bruh. You ain't going that low. All right, so let's take a quick gander here. Oh, Kaliki Hudson's interesting. Jeremy Chin's interesting too. Ronnie Holmes wouldn't be bad. Let's take a look at receiver, because now a lot of them are coming off the board. Isaiah Hodgins, very good contested catch receiver. But Juwan Jennings here in the 4th is a guy that'd be really good. Something they're missing is them screenplays from their receiving core, at least. So I don't mind this pick at all. I mean, I could see Juwan Jennings falling into early day 3. It's not like he blew the doors off the combine or the Senior Bowl. I do want to keep it. Oh, Antonio Gibson would have been fun too. I do want to keep in mind secondary. I think I honestly I love our first 4 picks. I just really wish that there's, and you know, I have no problem picking a box safety at this point, you know? And we got Taven Young, who can play in the slot, but Kevon Wallace, I think, is a much better slot, could be a much better slot player. We haven't seen Young be able to stay healthy. That's my only problem. Yo, they got another pick? Don't play. Why y'all got so many 4th round picks? I like Barku, but I wouldn't mind taking another, or taking a safety like Jeremy Chin. He'd be, I don't know if he's great in the box. I'd almost rather J.R. Reed. Wow, they got him ranked pretty low. I don't mind taking a look at the offensive line. Getting a little more depth on the line wouldn't be bad either. Rob Windsor is another guy. Davon Hamilton actually wouldn't be bad. Laurel Murchison, because he's got some good pass rush moves for an interior player. So put him at 3-4. Be kind of wild. And there's no one I really like at edge. Because honestly, we got Khalid Kareem, who's kind of similar 3-4 player. Maybe a true nose tackle. Vito Jones, but he ain't nothing. Or Benito, there we go. But yeah, that's not like, it's not someone I'm gonna fly off the board for. Like, I'm not gonna run up with my little picks in. Not for him, you know. Man, I want a guy that can play more. Reggie Floyd's solid too. All right, I'm not gonna lie. J.R. Reed, I think. Oh, this is tough. He's a very sure tackler, you know. He can play in the box. That's really what I wanted. So I'm very okay with that. Oh, you ain't telling me they got how many 4th round picks you guys got? Baltimore Ravens, y'all are crazy. All right, at this point, I kind of want best player available. I was eyeing Isaiah Hoggins. Antonio Gibson's very similar to what we have in Justice Hill. Yo, if we want a big body receiver, I'm taking Antonio Gandy going. Let's address receiver. Let's address receiver. Yo, that's a good. That is a good 4th round. I don't like to pat myself on the back, but pat. All right. Wow. I mean, where do you go from here? I mean, I feel like we're just addressing a lot of strengths. Let's take a look at quarterback. I was gonna say if Jalen Hurts is around. Curious. I don't think he'd be good in Baltimore's scheme. He's not the runner that Lamar Jackson is. All right, so we're back up in the 5th round here. Kind of want to go best player available. Zach Moss should not be here. Laverne Hill's interesting. Honestly, I don't mind double dipping a linebacker. Cam Brown's kind of wild. Then again, all right. Well, let's see what we got at the edge. Ooh, you know what? Travis Gibson is very underrated. I think he's gonna go day 2. So getting here in the 5th round, I think is pretty solid. All right. Honestly, we could go more offensive linemen, man. Because Yonda, man, he's getting older. Look at how far they have Throckmorton going. You crazy. So let's look. Tommy Kramer. Yeah, maybe I could find a tackle convert. Yazir Durant, actually. Actually, no, man. More so Tyree Phillips. Because that guy is, you know, like, kind of scary for, like, scary agile for his size. Okay, I got blinders on. I want him. Running backs, AJ Dillon. A lot of good running backs left here. All right, but I want Tyree. And if they got another pick, I'll go running back. There's a lot of good ones. Reggie Corbin. Ooh, that's really low for Reggie Corbin, though. I don't think he's going to be around 7th round. Neither is Darius Anderson. Salvon Ahmed might not be a bad choice. Doesn't look like they have another pick, though. Oh, maybe they do. Nope, maybe they don't. Ah! All right, let's take a look at our draft because, boy, there was a lot of picks. All right, so Kenneth Murray, solid. We also managed to bring in Khalid Kareem, who I think is phenomenal. He could play on the line. He could play a little bit on the outside. I think he's just a better version of Jalen Ferguson. Damian Lewis, I like. He could be an immediate starter and honestly eventual replacement to Yonda. Jawan Jennings and getting AGG, man. Andy Golden, I think, was money. Kevin Wallace is going to be a solid slot player. J.R. Reed, I almost said J.R. Smith. J.R. Reed, I think he's going to be ideal in sub packages as that jumbo linebacker. Travis Gibson was a steal. Tyree Phillips, I like this. You get more physical on the line. I think we instantly shoot him to guard, or even because Orlando Brown, his contract is up. Take a look. When is it up? He is a free agent all the way in 2022. That could be a future replacement. I mean, 7th rounder. But let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what the starting lineup will look like in 2020. Let's start with the offense. Lamar Jackson, of course. Mark Ingram, of course. Kind of sad I didn't bring in another running back, but that's something. They could pick up a free agent. They could pick up an undrafted free agent. But I like the receiving core because we did a lot with it. Marquise Brown, Emmanuel Sanders now coming in as the number 2. Could also move into the slot if they want to put Boykins on the outside. Jawan Jennings. We also have Antonio Gandy Golden, a plethora of playmakers. Got Andrews, Nick Boyle, because they typically like to run their 2 tight end sets. Stanley, Lewis, Sakura, Yonda, and Brown, as well as we got Tyree Phillips. They also got Bozeman. And onto the defense, Brandon Williams, Chris Wormley's in there, as well as on the edge slash kind of edge slash 3-4 D end. Khalid Kareem, Jalen Ferguson's there too, so they got those power rushers. power speed rushers, I suppose, and then Tyus Bowser. But we also got Travis Gibson, who could challenge them. Our linebackers being Bynes and Murray. And keep in mind, we also got our secondary looks phenomenal. Between Humphreys, Peters, I decided to keep Tavon Young in for the slot, but Kayvon Wallace could come in there. Earl Thomas, we got Chuck Clark, we got J.R. Reed. This team, they should, I'm not gonna lie, they should own the AFC South in theory or AFC South, AFC North. Woo! But they should own, they'll probably own the AFC South too, but the AFC North for the next foreseeable future, man. But that's it for the video. Go ahead and do the YouTube thing. This one was a lot of fun, more so on the draft aspect. I feel like we got a lot of good steals there in the draft that were realistic. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.